Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, kindly subscribe. Thank you. Today we'll be diving into a full end-to-end data analysis project using Microsoft Excel. So if you want to follow me step by step, you can check the description box below. The data set is there. I've put it there. You can download it and then follow me. So by the end of this project, we'll be able to build this dashboard. This project is about an online course. We are asked to give a descriptive analysis of this course. This is the data set of the course where we are asked to give a descriptive analysis showing the relationship between the course completion, okay, and the year it was completed, the relationship between the course completion and the access, and also relationship between the course completion and the certificate. So by the end of this course, we should be able to give a descriptive analysis on this. So before we start analyzing, we need to understand this data set. So first we have the column. The column A has the purchase reference for each student. So I'm assuming this should be without duplicates. This should be the primary key. But for us to be sure, we need to apply a conditional formatting there. So you highlight this column, go to conditional formatting, go to highlight cell rules and say duplicate values. Then you say OK. So if there are any duplicate values, it will highlight it in a red color. So we'll scroll down to see if there are duplicate values. There are no duplicate values, so we are good. Since this is the primary key, the characteristics of a the characteristics of a primary key are two major characteristics. Number one, it must not have duplicates, and number two, it must not have an empty cell. So there must be no empty value, no null value there. So it must be filled. Okay, a primary key must not be empty and the primary key must not have duplicates. So since we have checked using our conditional formatting to see if there are duplicates and there are no duplicates, so we can use this purchase reference as our primary key. So as we are analyzing this, I would want to put this down somewhere. So I'll just click on this notepad. You can use anything you want to use to analyze. So first, my first analysis is I'm going to use my purchase reference as my primary key. So I'm going to write it down there, primary key. Okay, next I want to also count how many students bought this course. So how do I do that? I can count using this column since it's my primary key and there are no duplicates. So just put your select this first cell and then say Control Shift down key. So it selects from the top to the bottom. And then when you check your status bar here, you can see the count 876. So there are 876 students who purchased this course. So I'm going to put that down in my notepad. Okay, number of purchase or number of students is 876. Okay, so next we'll analyze this access header. I would like to apply the filter. Just come here and click on filter. So click on this arrow down. I want to see. So the filter has the access header, has the access column, has the allowed and blocked. So there are students who are allowed to access the course and there are students who are blocked. So that's what that's saying. So we can put that down here. Access equal to allowed and blocked. Okay, so next is lectures completed. we have some students who have not completed at all, which is 0 down to 67. Okay, so down to 67. Some students have completed just 2 lectures, some 18 lectures. Next, we go to the number of lectures. Let's see the number of lectures we have here. So the number of lectures is 66. Number of lectures are 66 in number. So it means that something is wrong with this. If the number of lectures are 66, then why is this lectures completed up to 67? So there's an error there. It's supposed to end at 66. So we're going to go to our notepad and show that, write that lectures completed, okay, is showing 0 to 67. Supposed, you can just write a little note here, supposed to stop at 66. Close that bracket. Then the next one, number of lectures. Our next column is number of lectures, okay, is 66. Next is percentage completed. You can click on this filter again. Let's analyze. So we have 0 to 101.52. Now this is wrong as well, supposed to end at 100%. So we're going to put that down. So we'll say percentage completed is 0 to 101.52. We're supposed to stop at 100%. So you can write that down, 100%, enter. So next we have the certificates. Certificate means we have no and yes. So for no, for those people who have not finished the course to get their certificate, and for yes, for those who have finished the course and have gotten their certificate. So we'll go to notepad and say certificates. We have no and we have yes. Okay, next we have the dates joined. So let's analyze these dates. Click on this arrow down. We have 2024 and 2023, and then you can click on this plus sign to expand it. So under 2024, the course is from January to March, and under 2023 from November to December. So we can show that there in our notepad, dates joined. So here we have 2023 equal to 2023 and 2024. So for 2024, we have from January to March, close that bracket, and then from 2023 we have November to December. Okay, so yes, this is our analysis. So from here we can now go to the question. So our question is to, what we are asked to do, our job is to give a descriptive analysis of this, provide a dashboard to explain the relationship between the lectures completed, the access certificate, and the dates joined. So for us to be able to do that, to analyze that better, we need to break these lectures completed down into groups. So we need to break these students into groups, those that have completed, those that are far from completion, those that have completed averagely, those that are close to completion. So I want to break this into 4 groups. So I'm going to note that down in my notepad. So I'm going to say lecture, let me just give it a name, range, and then I'll say some are far from completion, So for those that are far from completion, they will be less than let me say from 0 to 19 are far from completion. Then next will be average completion. Average completion, I would say from 20 to 39. Next will be close to completion. Close to completion, I would say from 40 to 64. Okay. And then finally, okay, 40 to 65. And then those that have completed will be equal to 66. Okay. So this is our quick analysis. Okay, we're going to use this now to load and edit our table using the Power Query. Okay, so let's save this. You can save this in your system. I'm just going to minimize this because I'll still use it. Then I will remove these filters, remove it. So one thing I want to advise as a data analyst, if you are given a job to do and you are given the raw data sets like this, do not use the actual data sets that you were given. Try to create a copy of it. Just duplicate it and then keep the original data set that was given and use the copy. As you can see, I'm using the copy of this here. And see the copy up here. So I'm using the copy. I'm not using the original that was given to me. So next, I'm going to go to data, click on data. I want to use the Power Query to analyze this. So we'll go to new query. Okay, for some of you, you would see something like get query or get data, something like that. So for me, I'll just go to data and there's new query here. For some of you, you see get data. When you click on get data, then you can analyze from there. For me, my own system is new query, so I'm going to use new query, and then I'll say from workbook. Click on from workbook. So you go to where you saved the file. So I'm going to go to where I saved my file. I think this one. Say import. So when you click on import, it takes you to the Power Query navigator. So from here, I can now choose this data set I want to work with. So if I click on this data set, it will show me a preview of what I want to work with. And then I can now click on edit. So let's wait for it to preview. So this is our file. So I'll now click on edit. Go to edit. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I've refreshed this. So this is our data set, and this is the Power Query editor. For those of you, if this is the first time you're looking at this editor, I'm just going to give you a quick preview. So this is the home menu bar. Here you have different things you can do. If you want to reduce the rows, if you want to remove rows, remove columns, you have your data type up here. You have, if you want to use the first row as headers, so many things that we'll be doing as you follow me in this in my page. If you subscribe to my page, I'm going to show you how to use all of this soon. And then we have the transform, we have add column, we have view. So as we go on, you would learn how to use it. So in this area here, in my right hand side, we have our query settings and we have the applied steps. So quickly, when you are using Power Query, you cannot, when you make a mistake, you can't use the Control Z or the Control Y. You have to come here and delete. If you make a mistake here and you want to go back, you have to come and delete the step. Any step you make here, anything you do here, it will show here in these applied steps here. So if you want to go back, you just delete that step and it will take you back. And then if you are using the Power Query editor, you can't open any other Excel file. It won't open. So you must finish with the Power Query before you are able to open an Excel file. Plus, you can always come back to the Power Query to edit, to make any editing. If you have made mistakes, you can always come back. If you want to, if you are done, you close and load. But for now, we have not finished any. We have not started. So like I said, from our Notepad, we have said our purchase reference is our primary key, which is this. This is our primary key, so you can just leave it that way. And then next we have the next one is number of purchase 876. You can see it here, 7 columns, 876 rows, so we are correct. Access, we have allowed and blocked, okay. And then lectures completed, we would like to break it down into 4 based on what we have here. But before we break it down into 4, remember it's from 0 to 67 and it's supposed to stop at 66, so we have to correct that. So when we click on this arrow down, you can see it's from 0 to 67 and we want it to be 66, okay, to stop at 66. So what we're going to do is just highlight this lectures completed, then go to right click. When you highlight, just right click, go to replace values, click on replace values, and write 67 here where you have value to find. Write 67 and then replace with 66. So we want to replace 67 in that column to 66. Click on OK, and then when you are done, click on this arrow down again to see if it has been replaced. You can see that the 67 is gone because it has been replaced with 66. It was an error, so cancel that and then go to percentage also. Right click on it, then go to replace values. We want to replace 101.52 to 100. Say OK, and then it will do that for you. Click on this filter, let's see if we are correct. Then we have 100. Perfect, so we have replaced that. So yes, you can see the steps we took is highlighted here. We replaced value, when we replaced the value, and then we replaced the value for percentage completed, we replaced the value for lectures completed 67 to 66, and then 101 to 100. So next is the date joined. I would like to separate the year from this. When you highlight this, just click on, go to add column, menu bar up here, then go to dates, and then go to year, click on year. Okay, and then here you see your year has been separated for you. So we have separated the year from the date. I think this is all we need to analyze our data. Okay, if there's anything we need to do, we can always come back here to the Power Query editor. But for now, this is all I need. So go back to home. When you are done, go back to home and then see this close and load. So you are done. This is called the ETL process: extract, transform, and load. So we have successfully extracted these data sets from the original one, and then we have transformed it, which is the editing that we've done here, and we're loading it now into our Microsoft Excel. So you just click on this and then select close and load. So automatically it's going to close and load this file for you. You can see. Okay, here we have our file now loaded, okay, into our Microsoft Excel. You can close this, we don't need it. So next we are going to be analyzing our KPI and then using the pivot table to create mini tables and then charts for our dashboard. We're going to visualize this table before creating the dashboard. Okay, so I'll just name this actual, or I'll just say course data set. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do is I want to create another sheet for the KPI. I want to create a KPI. My KPI will just be the total number of purchase and also the average lectures completed. KPI means key performance indicators or key performance metrics. They are our key performance metrics that we'll be needing for this analysis. So for us to do that, I'm just going to use the pivot table to do that. Let's go to home, insert, click on anywhere on this table, and then go to insert and click on pivot table. When you get there, click on the new sheet, okay, and can say add this data to data model, and then say okay. So it creates a new sheet for you with the pivot table. So this is the pivot table field. Okay, if you click anywhere outside, this will disappear, but if you click anywhere on this field, it will appear. So the pivot table is an interactive way to quickly summarize large amounts of data. So if you have a large data that you want to summarize, the pivot table is a quick way to summarize it for you. So here I want to get my KPI, so I'll just come to, I said, the total number of lectures, the total number of students. So I'm going to bring out this purchase reference. Since this is our primary key, I'll put it here on values, and then I have it counted out for me, 876. So this is my KPI. And then the second KPI will be, I can just copy this, Ctrl C and then Ctrl V, paste it here, and then click on this one, the second one, and then remove. If you want to remove this count purchase, just drag it out. Okay, the next one I want, I've brought the pivot table here, so the next one I want is the average lectures completed. So drag this lectures completed here, and then instead of sum, I want the average. So click on this arrow down, go to value field settings and select average, and then you can go to number format and make it 2 decimal places. Go to number and leave it at 2 decimal places. Say okay, say okay. So you have 24.58 as our average. So these are our KPIs for this project. So I want to copy it out because this is using the pivot table analysis. I want to copy it out so it will be easier for me. So just say equal to and select this, press enter. So I can now drag this down. So you have this, then you drag it to the side, then you have that. So you can change this again to just 2 decimal places. And go to this general and change it to go to more number formats. Go to number and make it 2 decimal places. Say okay. So yes, so this is what we have here. We'll be using this in our dashboard later, and this is how I like to do it. So let's rename this sheet KPI, or KPI sheet. So next I want to use the pivot table to start analyzing my data. So click on anywhere on the main table, and then go to insert and select pivot table, and then leave it at new worksheets. Click on this and say okay. So it creates a new table for you. For this one I want to analyze the lectures completed and the lecture range. So I'm going to drag this lecture completed into the values. So where you have values here, it does the calculation for you, and then rows is like letters. If you have anything that has to do with letters, you can put it in rows and columns, but these values does the calculation for you. You can see this cumulative sign there. So now for these rows, we're going to put the okay, here we said lectures completed, and then here we're going to put the lecture range that we created. So we forgot to create a lecture range for this, so we're going back to our data query. Go back to your course data set, go to data, or you can just simply go to query and then say edit. So it takes you back to your data, to your Power Query, and then we can now create a range, a lecture range, like we said we're going to do this lecture range. So we have to create it. For those using Power Query 2021, you would see when you go to add column, you'd see conditional column. So there it's easier to create from there, but I'm using 2016, so I'm going to be using add custom column. For those using 2013, you do not have Power Query, so I advise you upgrade your Excel so that you can have Power Query. For those using 2016 and above, you have your Power Query. For those using 2021, you are lucky, you have more functions here in your add column. There's something called conditional column. You can use that, it's easier. But for me, I'm going to use the add custom column because I do not have the conditional column. So you click on custom column. You can also use this for, even if you're using 2021, it's totally fine. But it's easier to use the conditional column. So I'm going to say lecture range. I'm going to give it a name, call it lecture range. Then I'll say if, it's an if statement. And I'll say if lectures completed, click on this and say insert. So it's there, is less than or equal to, I said 19. Then I want this to be far from completion. Far from completion. Else, if, and insert again, it's less than or equal to, I think 39, then call it average completion. Else, if insert is less than or equal to 65, then would say close to completion. Then finally we just say else in quotes completion. Put that in quotes and then say okay. So it will insert a column for you called lecture range. Based on this, if you check this number 2, it means that the person is far from completion because this person's score is less than 19. This person has only completed 2 lectures, which is less than 19, and then it's far from completion. For those who have average completion, they are between 20 to 39. So you can see this is 26, and then it's under average completion. We have so this is what we want. We want this lecture range. I think this is all that we want. So we can go back to home and close and load our file. So you would see it here. To automatically load it here. You can see it here. So all you have to do is go to home and then go to your sheet 4. This one I created. Go to home, go to review. I'm trying to insert data. Okay, go to data and then refresh all. Go to data and refresh all. Let it refresh. Okay, so once it's refreshed, we're back here. So what I want is I'm going to bring the lecture range, which is what we just created, down here into the rows. And then for this sum of lectures, I don't want the sum, I want the count. So I'm going to come here and select count and say okay. So yes, this is the count. So we had 93 people who are in average, 122 close to completion, 149 have successfully completed, and then 512 are far from completion. So we have more people who are far from completion. So from here, I'm going to bring this out. Say equal to. Can click on this label, this row labels, press enter, and then drag this down. Drag it down. I don't need the grand total, so I'm going to leave that one out. Yes, so I'm okay with this. So we have the average completion and we have this. So yes, I'm going to name this completion status. completion status. So you can give it a name. So the next one we'll be creating is we're going to be comparing the completion status with the dates and with the access with the certificate. So that's what we'll be doing next with our pivot table. So in the meantime, we can just give this a color. Right click on this and give it a color. Go to tab color, any color of your choice. Give it a color just to differentiate them. I'll go to tab color, right click on this, go to tab color. Okay. Next we'll come to our table again, to our course data set. Go to insert. We're going to insert another pivot table and say okay. So this time around we want to compare bring down our lectures completed down to values. We want to compare these to our lecture range. Okay, and then to our certificates. Bring the certificate to column. Yes, so this is what we want to do. But here we want to change this to count. I don't want the sum, I need the counts. And say okay. Okay, so we can see now, for those who said for the no, these people haven't gotten their certificate. These are the number of people who have not gotten. And for this one, yes, these are the number of people who have gotten their certificate. And yes, and this is the grand total. So based on this, we have all of this. So I want to bring this down here, say equal to. Can start from here, press enter, and then we can drag this down to far from completion. I don't need the grand total, so you can leave that out and drag this to yes. So I also don't need the grand total here, so you can leave that out. Okay, so can make this bigger. Okay, so we'll be using this to create our charts later, so that's why I don't need the grand total for my charts. So next, let me rename this. This is completion status. Completion status versus certificates. Enter. We can give it a color, a tab color. Let's say yellow. So come back to your data sets and then to insert again pivot table. This time around, I want to compare with I want to compare lectures completed, lecture range with the access. Okay, with access, put the access in the column, and then change this sum to count. Say okay. Okay, so now let's copy this out. Say equal to, press enter, drag this down, and drag it to the side. I don't need the total for this, I just need blocked and allowed. Perfect. So next, okay, we can name this completion status versus access. Can give it a tab color, just right click there and then give it maybe golden. So next we would compare, go to insert pivot table, say okay. So I want to compare finally with dates. Okay, so lectures completed in values, lecture range here, change this sum to count, say okay, and then go to year. Let's see, yeah. Okay, so yes, we have that. Let me see this date joined. Okay, cancel. Okay, yes, so we have here yes, so for this one, let's copy this out, say equal to, click on this, say enter, drag this down to far from completion, drag it to 2024. Yes, this is what I need. Okay, so from here we can now start inputting our chart. So don't forget to rename this completion status, versus dates, enter, give it a tab color, perfect. So from here we can start putting in our charts. But before we do that, I would like us to find the correlation between the completion state. So next, I said I want to find the correlation between the dates and the access. So for this one, I would like to make some changes to this. Instead of the lecture range here, I would put the access here in the rows. Okay, and then I would put the dates in the column. Let's put the year here in the column. Okay, yes, this is what I want. And yes, so you can see this one actually changed as well. I don't want the grand total for this, so I'm going to delete this grand total. Okay, but I want this grand total here to be here, so I'm going to say equal to, click on this, press enter, and then drag it down. Okay, so I want to find the correlation between the year 2023 and the total. I want to find the correlation between the people who were allowed access and those who were blocked, and compare it to the total. So I'm going to say for 2023, by using the correlation formula, equal to correlation in brackets, the array 1, the first array is this. I want to use this, say comma, and then the second one is this. Close that bracket, press enter. So it's giving us 1. And then let's do for 2024, say equal to correlation in brackets, would select this, comma, select this, close that bracket, press enter. So what 1 means is that it's a perfect positive correlation. So there are 3 types. It's either it's perfect positive correlation, or perfect negative correlation, which is -1, or 0 correlation, meaning no relationship between both. So for this one, perfect positive correlation, it means that there's a relationship between those who are allowed access and the year of access and the completion status. So it means that those who were allowed in 2023 they have covered more than those who were allowed in 2024, based on those who were allowed access. So those who were allowed in 2023 have covered more courses than those who were allowed in 2024, of course, because they have stayed longer, because they bought the course before those who bought it in 2024. So they have covered more than those who bought it in 2024. That's why it's giving a perfect positive correlation. So we'll leave that aside and start creating our charts. So our first chart will be for this completion status. I'm going to highlight this. Just highlight from average completion down to far from completion. Go to insert. I want to use this chart, hierarchy chart. Okay, select this. So this is the chart I'm using for this one. We'll change the colors later, but for now, I can just leave it here. So this is the chart we're using for this one. I'll just change the title to highlight it and write completion status. Okay, so that's the title I'll be using for this chart. We can change the color later. Then next we go to completion status versus certificate. So let's create a chart for this. So for this completion status versus certificate, I'll be using a combo chart. It's also important to know the charts to use as a data analyst. Use charts that works for you. Use charts that are easily understandable. Don't use charts that are not understandable. There are rules in when it comes to using charts for analyzing data. Okay, that's a different topic for another day. I'm just going to go straight to selecting this from average completion to far from completion, and then okay, I'll pick yes and no. Can select from row labels and then go to insert. I'll choose the combo chart because it works for me better. It analyzes my work better for me. So I'll go with the combo chart. This, yes, so for those who haven't gotten their certificates, they are more than those who have gotten. The yes is the orange line showing here, and the no are the blue column bars there. So we'll edit that later. You can just edit this name. You can say completion status by certificates. Okay, so we'll come back to do more editing. Let's go to completion status by access. Okay, for the completion status by versus access, you can just highlight this and then go to insert. I'm going to use a line chart. I'll use this one. Okay, so we can rename the title to completion status by access. Okay, and then we can edit this later. So let's go to completion status by date. This is the last one, I guess. So for this one, I want to create a chart for this, but before we do that, I want to create a standard deviation for this. I want to see how far apart they are from the mean. So the standard deviation is equal to, so you select this standard def.sample, this second one, double click on that, then it says the first number, which is this, comma, second number, which is this, and close that bracket and press enter. So it gives you the standard deviation. If you drag it down, it gives you the standard deviation for all these values. So we're going to make this right click, go to format cells, make it 1 decimal. I'll make it 1 decimal. So okay. So you can see this, those who have completed the course have a higher standard deviation, and then these people, the average completion has the lowest standard deviation. So they are far from the mean. Those with the high standard deviation are farther from the mean, from the average. So we're going to now create a chart for this. Go to insert. Let's create let's use a combo chart. Yes, this one works. So we can change this name now to completion status by date, or we can say by year. Okay. So I would like to click on this plus sign. I want to edit the axis. I don't want this axis to show, so I'm going to click on this arrow and then remove the vertical axis. Then go to data labels. I want the data labels to show. Click on that data label and then go to grid lines. Remove the grid lines. I don't want it there. And yes, okay, we can leave the legend. So yes, we have edited our work. The only thing remaining is to change the color. We can change the color later. So go back to completion status by access. Let's edit this chart. Go to the plus, click on the plus, go to axis, remove the vertical axis, and then click on data labels. And yes, this is perfect. Remove the grid lines. I don't need it. And perfect. So next is completion status by certificates. We do the same. Click on the plus sign. I don't want the vertical axis, so you remove that. Click on data labels. I want the data labels there, and I don't want the grid lines. Perfect. So finally, this one, I think this is okay. So yes, we have created our chart. Now we're left with our dashboard, which is the final step. So for the dashboard, we're going to use a new screen, a new sheet, worksheet for that. So we're going to just click on this cost data set, right click on it and say insert. So a new sheet will be inserted here. It says worksheet, just say okay, and then you have it here. So we'll just double click this and rename it dashboard. Enter, and then let's give it a tab color. Can give it green. Okay, perfect. Now for us to create a dashboard, we need to create this, we need to change this whole setting, remove the grid lines. So for us to do that, you just go to view, remove the grid lines, then we're going to remove the headers, we're going to remove the formulas. Okay, so next we'll go to home, and then we give our dashboard a color. Go to this fill color, and then I want to use this color. So when you're creating a dashboard, you should already have a color in mind. So this is the color I would like to use. I would also like to lock this menu bar. Just click on your arrow at the top, and then yes, you have it this way. And make sure it's at 100%. Your zoom is at 100%. Yes, so next we're going to start bringing in our charts. So we're going to go to completion status and bring in these charts. Control copy. Go back to your dashboard, Control V. Okay, so I want this chart to be this way. Make sure it feels, just use 100% size. Make sure your zoom is at 100%. Okay, so this is okay, I guess. Can reduce it a bit. It's fine. Okay, now let's bring in other charts. Completion status by certificates. Control C, Control V. Okay, I'll put that here. Okay, next is or let's put that here. Sorry. Let's put that here. And then let's bring in completion status by access. This one. Control C. Put your dashboard. Control V. Okay. Put it here. Can reduce the sizes later. So I'll bring in completion status by year. By the year. This. Okay. So paste it here. So we're going to reduce the sizes because of course I need space for our header. Always create a space for your headers. So I'm going to reduce this. This. Okay. Bring this down. Okay, so this will be here. Make it wider. Bring this down. Okay, this is okay. So now I want us to start changing the colors. So for this first completion status, I would like the background color to be a green color. You can right click. When you click on this, you just right click, go to fill. I'm going to choose this bright green, and then I'm going to change this color. Far from completion, I would like to make it a red color. Go to fill. I like to make it red. Sorry, I didn't select it alone, so I'm going to select this completion. Just double click on it, and then I'm going to make it green. I'm going to go to close to completion. I'm going to make it orange, and then finally average completion. I'm going to make it blue or light blue. Yes. So also I want to remove the white lines in between. So I'm just going to double click on one of them, then right click and say no outline. Click on the arrow down where you have the outline and say no outline. Can do the same for others. No outline. So yes, so I think I like it this way. Let me remove the outline for the green color. Then for this, no outline. Okay, so this is how I want it. Then I'll close this. So this completion by certificate, I want to apply a color to it. Just click on it, then right click, and then go to fill. I would like to make it a gradient, so click on gradient and say more gradient. Okay, so here you say gradient fill. Click on gradient fill and then choose the colors. I just want 2 gradients, so I'm going to delete all of this and just leave 2. So for this first gradient color, I would like to make it the background color, our background color, and then for this one I would make it let's make it this color. Okay, then we move this. Also change the direction to from the left to the right. Choose this one. Yes, so that when we move it, you can see the effect. Sorry, let me move this so that we can see. So we see the effect of what we are doing. Just slightly. Okay, good. So this is okay. So we can close this. So now I would like to change the color of the bars. I'm going to make this orange in color. Just click on one of them, then right click on it and say go to the fill color and make it orange. Okay, perfect. Then I'm going to change this to these are the people that have completed the course, so I'm going to change the line to green. Just go to fill and then change it to green. That's after selecting it. Or go to outline and change it to green. Outline, sorry, not fill. So when you select the line, go to outline and change it to green. So I'm going to change this title to white color. I'm going to make it white. You can just click on it. You can just click on it and then go to home where you have this A. Just select white color, change this to white. and then click on one of the data labels and it selects everything. Go back to home and change it to white. The same thing for the average completion for the horizontal axis. Go to home and then change it to white. Perfect. So now for the legends as well, we do the same. White. Okay, so this is how I want it to look. Now I'm going to apply the same to others. I want the outline of this box to be okay, I want this to be just exactly, I don't know if this color is the same as the background. I would love it to be the same as the background. So let's see the background color we used. Okay, we use this color. Then let's see this one. Sorry, Control Z. Okay, I don't know if it's different, but let me just double check that. Fill, gradients, more gradients. Okay, the color I used, is it? Okay, it's different. So I'm going to change the background color to this color. I prefer this one. So just click on this and say Control A. It selects everything. Go back to home and then choose this one down here. Okay. Yeah, so this is what I want. And then there are the labels for those that have completed the course. You can just click on one of it, go to home and change it to white color. Yes. Okay, perfect. So since they are kind of hidden, I would like to increase their sizes. So just click on one of them, go back to home and let's make it 10. And let's make it bold. Okay. Okay. So we can also put a background color for it, a fill color. Let's make it, since they have completed the course, we can leave it at green. Okay, perfect. So now we'll do the same for the completion status by year. We're going to apply the same. Just select it and then right click on it, go to fill, go to gradients, go to more gradients, and then select gradient fill. You can see it's already applied, so you just close that. Change all of these to white. Put your hand on Control, select this, select this, change all of these to white. Go to home, change it to white. So I'm going to do the same for this one. I'll make it bold. I would change the size to 10. Then I would apply a background color for it. Perfect. So let's change this. Let's change this horizontal labels to white. Okay, and then finally make this legends white. Perfect. So next I want to change the bar colors, so I want to make them two different colors. So this blue color, I would like to make it green. Select the green, and then for the other one I would like to make it orange. Okay, so we'll do the same for the completion by access. Select it, right click on it, go to fill, gradients, more gradients, gradient fill, and then close. It applies it already because it's already there. So now change all of these title to white, change the horizontal labels to white, change the legends to white, and then let's change the data labels to white and make them bold. Okay, we have two data labels, one for those that are allowed to access the course and those that are blocked, so don't forget that. Make this white and then make it bold. Okay, so I want to change the color. For those that are allowed, I'll leave it at green and change the color to green. And then for those that were blocked, we can change that color. Change that color to red. Just double click on it and change it to red color, just to indicate that they were blocked. Yes, so this is what I want us to do. And then finally, I want us to apply a slicer, a filter to filter this, and then put in our headers. And before we do that, I'd like us to, we can create the headers before we even bring in the slicers. Okay, so quickly I'll bring in a rectangle, go to insert, and let's bring in a shape. Let's make it a rectangular shape, and then we just draw it out there. So I just want to use this for my labels, for my KPIs. Just place it there. So I would like to write something there. So instead of, okay, for this one, I would bring in my formula bar. So go to view and then bring in your formula bar, because I'll be using formula for that. So click on this, then come to the formula bar and say equal to, go to your KPI and then select this average lectures completed, press enter. So you have it there. I'll just make this wider. Okay. Just make sure your work is arranged. Control D, you can double click, you can duplicate this and bring it here. For this one, I would say equal to, go to your KPI and select count of purchase reference. You can change that later. Say enter. Okay, perfect. So we have that. Okay, we can change the name of this later, or we can just leave it at that. So next I would like to duplicate this again. Bring this down here. Okay, make it bigger and then say equal to, then go to the KPI and select 876. Please make sure you select this second one instead of the one with the pivot table. Select this one that we copied down here earlier and press enter. So you have 876. So we're going to go to home, make it bold, increase the size of that. 20 is fine. Okay, and then I'll make it smaller, put it in the middle. Okay, come back here and centralize. So we can Control D, duplicate this again and drag it here. This time around we'll say equal to, go to your KPI and select 24.58, press enter. We'll do the same, go to home, make it bold, and then choose 20, increase the size to 20. So yeah, this is what I want. Now we can just change the color. I'll change this background color. Just right click on it and go to fill and say no fill. I don't want a background color there. Do the same for this one. Go to fill and say no fill. Then we change the colors to white. Go to home, make it white. Perfect. So for this, I would like to change the colors to green. Go to home, go to background, and choose the green color. We can also change the color in it to white if it's brighter. Okay, yes, this is okay. So I would like to change the outlines to green. You can leave it at white if you want it. I'd just like to change the outline. Go to outline and then select the green color. Do the same for this. Go to outline and then select the green color. Do the same. Go to outline, right click, click on the arrow down, and then select the green color for the outline. Okay, so finally, for the logo, I already have the logo, so I'm just going to, due to time, I'm just going to copy the logo from, because of time, I'm just going to copy the logo from where I have it and then paste it. So I have it here. It's just a simple logo. Ctrl C, and then I'll paste it here. Ctrl V. So it's just a simple logo. You can actually do it yourself. Okay, so finally the text, again, due to time, I'll just have to do it. But if you want to do it yourself, just go to shape, insert a shape, or let me just do it. Insert a rectangular shape, and then you can write whatever you want to write in there. So I'd like to say course lecture, course lecture analysis, put in brackets 2023 and 2024, close that bracket. So this is what I want there. Bring it up here, keep bigger. So let's make it bold and increase the size. Let's see. Okay, we can make it, put it in the middle, align it to the middle. Okay, then we can remove the go to the fill, remove the fill color. Okay, and then we can change the text color to, go to home, change the text color to the orange color. Perfect. So this is what I want. Also, this outline, I would like to remove it because it's affecting the logo. So just go to, click on it, right click, click on this, then right click, and then go to outline. Sorry, right click on this, go to outline and say no outline, so you don't have it there anymore. So we can just move it up there. Perfect. So next, I want to bring in our slicers. So I want to bring in a slicer for the year. So for the slicer, I'm going to bring in a shape, insert, go to shape. I'm going to bring in a rectangle just to look like what we have already. Okay. Okay, so this, I'm going to remove the, I'm going to apply a fill color, a gradient, just to look like what we have. Okay, for the slicer, I'm going to just go to any of these. Well, I'll use this completion status. Click on this pivot table anywhere here, and then go to insert, and you see slicer here. Click on the slicer, and then you see your data set. Then you can select, I want to use the year for my slicer. I'm going to select this year and say okay. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to copy this, Control C, take it to my dashboard, Control V. Then I can now edit the way I want. So here you have slicer options. You can select this slicer options, and you have report connections here. We'll do that later, but I would like to make the columns 2. Come to column, increase it to 2. I like to make it this way. I want it to be, yes, I want it to be bigger. So just increase it the way, the size you want it to be. Okay, yeah, something like this. Go back to the options. I'd like to increase the height of the, raise this up a bit. Go back to options. The width is fine. Just going to put this here in the middle. Go to options. We can reduce this height a little. Okay, just kind of place it in the middle there. That's okay. So now to apply the colors here, I'm going to click on options. So where you have all of this, I just want to click on this arrow down because I want to apply my own color. Then select new slicer style. So here I would use this to edit my slicer. Okay, so just select whole slicer. I want to edit the background, and then go to formats. Click on formats, and we can change the font color to white. Make it white. Then we can change the fill color to the background color, which is the dark blue, and then say okay. Then go back to, for us to edit these boxes where you have 2023 and 2024, you select, click on this selected item with data, then click on formats again. This time around I want the fill to be orange color, and we can leave, okay, we can change the font to white if that works, or if it doesn't, we can come back and change it later. Then we say set as default slicer rule, okay, for this table, and say okay. So once you are done with that, still click on this slicer, go back to option, you'll see what we've done here, select it. Yes, so this is what we've done. This is what we've done. This is our slicer. We have our slicer here. So we can basically, when we click on 2023, it will edit everything, show us all the values that are available, all the data available for 2023. It will filter this data. So I want to do something. I want to select, right click on this and go to slicer settings. Instead of year, I want to change it to so I'll come to caption, where you have caption, change it to filter by year, okay, and then say okay. So you have filter by year, and then finally right click on your slicer. You have to report connection. It's like connecting your slicer to all the other charts that you have created. If you don't connect your slicer to the other charts, there might be, it won't work. So for your slicer to work, for you to be able to filter through the other charts, you need to report a connection. However, I would want this slicer to only filter the completion status by certificates, and completion status by access, and to also filter through this one above through our KPI. But I do not want it to filter through the completion status by year, because it's already by year and my filter is by year. So I just prefer it this way because I don't want the standard deviation to change. This standard deviation is based on 2023 and 2024. I don't want it to give wrong values, so I'll just leave it this way. Plus I forgot, I would like to change this standard deviation line to a white color. Just click on it, click on the line, and then right click and change the outline to white. Make it white, select white. Yes, so this is what I want. Okay, so finally let's report the connection for this filter. So right click on this and go to, you can see report connections here, or if you click on options, you see report connections here. So you can now do that. So for this one, we have completion status by access, so I'm going to select that. Just check it, and then we have completion status by certificates. I'm going to check that. Completion status by dates. Okay, I'm not going to check that because this is the by year. I don't want to filter through that. And then we have the KPIs. I'm going to select that and say okay. So it's working on that. So if I click on 2023, it has, you can see it has shown me the data for 2023. Purchase was 465, and then 26.2 average lectures were completed. If I compare it to 2024, which is 411 purchases, and then the average lectures completed 22.6, sorry. And then for this, we can see that so many people haven't completed the course. More people have completed from 2023. We have more completion rates compared to 2024. So more people from 2023 have completed this, and this is due to the time they bought the course. So it's that's why there's a positive correlation between the year that the students bought the course and their completion status. So those who bought in 2023 were able to complete the course faster than those who bought in 2024 because of the year they bought. So there's a positive correlation for that. And then here we have also by certificates. If you click on 2023, you filter through by 2023, you can see and those who completed and collected their certificates are about 84. Okay, 84 people collected their certificates. And then for 2024, we have about 45 people. So yes, and then okay, 2024, 6 people were blocked and 405 people were allowed to have access. Then 2023, only 1 person was blocked and 465 people were allowed to have access. Okay, so we can when you want to remove the filters, you can click on this filter and then your filter is gone. So you're able to, this is just a descriptive analysis that you have provided based on the course lecture. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. Leave your comments down below if you have any questions and I would attend to that. Also leave your like and share. Thank you so much and see you next time. Bye bye.